Okay, can we start now? Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Yes,
doctor.
doctor. Okay, okay, we'll start. Okay, so yesterday we have started with the IIR filter design, that is infinite impulse response filter design. Okay, so basically we designed this filter using continuous time Butterworth filter. And to design this filter, we should know some specification first. So the specifications, we know that the specifications are in terms of the cutoff frequency, the pass band edge frequency, the stop band edge frequency, the pass band ripple, stop band ripple, the order of the filter. So these many specifications we should know. Okay, so this is the characteristics of non-ideal filter, because the ideal filter is not realizable. So this is the characteristics of non-ideal filter. This is the transition band, that is the band between the pass band edge frequency and the stop band frequency. Okay, so to design this, we started with this Butterworth filter. And basically we map the S domain onto the Z domain while we design this digital filter. Okay, so to map from S domain to Z domain, we use bilinear transformation, and this is the relation for bilinear transformation. So here the term C, we can find out this C constant with with this equation, the relation, that is this capital omega is the continuous time frequency, and the small omega is the discrete time frequency. If I know this, then I can find the value of C. Okay, then the magnitude square spectrum for the Butterworth filter is this. This is the relation. Okay, and from this we can find the transfer function for the nth order of the filter. So if the order is 1, then the transfer function h of s of the Butterworth filter is 1 by s plus 1, where this omega c is equal to 1. We have considered for simplicity the continuous time cutoff frequency, that is capital omega c is equal to 1. Okay, if order is 2, then this is the h of s. Order is 3, then this is the h of s. If order is 4, then this is the h of s we will get. Okay, now the steps to follow while designing the digital filter are: first is to determine the filter characteristics. So these many characteristics we need to determine. And there are three ways to specify the filter characteristics. So yesterday we have seen one example with this specification where omega c and capital N was given. Okay. Now today we will see the other two examples with this specification. Okay. So these are the three ways to specify the filter characteristics. This is the first step, that is determine the filter characteristics. Second step is to find the system transfer function of the continuous time filter h of s. Now we are doing design using Butterworth filter. So we know that for this many order, the system transfer function in continuous domain is this. Okay. Now the third step is to transform the continuous time filter h of s to the discrete time filter h of z using bilinear transformation. Okay, where we transform s onto the z. So we know that S is equal to C into 1 minus Z inverse divided by 1 plus Z inverse, that relation, bilinear transformation relation. Okay. And to find C, we can use the relation between discrete time frequency and the continuous time frequency. Then the first step is to obtain the difference equation or the time domain representation of the discrete time filter for implementation. Okay, where we will get the difference equation. So these are the steps. Okay, so we will take the second example here. So the example is design an IIR low pass filter. It is given this is low pass filter. So we know that the characteristics for a low pass filter is like this, which passes the lower frequencies. If this is omega C cutoff frequency, then it passes the frequency less than cutoff frequency. So design the low pass filter based on the Butterworth filter with the following filter characteristics. So the stop band ripple, pass band ripple is equal to zero point 0.1. The pass band edge frequency is zero point 0.2 pi. The stop band edge frequency is zero point 0.4 pi. Okay. So if I want to plot these characteristics, then so I know the non-ideal characteristics. Okay. So the ideal characteristics are like this. So the stop band ripple, this is the pass band edge frequency, that is omega p, which is equal to zero point 0.2 pi. This is stop band edge frequency, which is equal to zero point 0.4 pi. The delta p here, this is 1. The upper is 1 plus delta p, and this lower is 1 minus delta p, where delta p is zero point 0.1, and the stop band ripple delta s is equal to zero point 0.1. Okay. So this is the characteristic. This is the transition band. This is our stop band, and this is the pass band, which passes this frequencies. Now the first step is to specify filter characteristics as given in the equation. The filter characteristics is already it is shown here. So this is the characteristics. Why this is zero point 0.9? Because 1 minus delta p, and delta p is 0 0.1, therefore it is 0.9, and this is 1.1. Okay, the stop band ripple is 0.1, it is shown here. Okay, so first step is to specify the filter characteristics. Then the second step is to find the system function of the continuous time filter. Now to obtain the system function, that is h of s, we need to find h of s. Okay. Now to obtain the system function, we set omega c, capital omega c, to 1, and we should know the value of capital N. Now in this example, capital N is not mentioned. Okay, like previous example, there was the statement was design a second order filter, IR filter. But in this example, it is not mentioned. So we need to find the value of capital N. Okay. Now, how to find the value of capital N? Now, from the filter characteristics, we can find the value of capital N. We know that the squared magnitude of h of j omega. Okay. Now the squared magnitude, the relation is we have seen yesterday, the relation is h of s square is equal to 1 by 1 plus omega by omega c to the power 2n. Now we have considered omega c equal to 1. Therefore, h of j omega square is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus capital omega to the power 2n. We will get. Okay. So this is written here. Okay. So the squared magnitude of h of j omega is basically this. Okay. Now we will find the squared magnitude at omega p and omega s. Okay. Now the value of omega p is zero point 0.9 and omega s is zero point 0.1 square. Okay. So based on this information, n can be computed as follows, where the magnitude square spectrum of the Butterworth filter is set as omega c equal to 1. Now, why we are doing this step? To find the value of capital N. Okay. Now, to evaluate the magnitude squared spectrum at omega p and omega s, so we do the bilinear transformation here. So the omega is, no, we know that the capital omega is equal to c times tan of omega by 2. Okay. So the omega p, I can write this is equal to c times tan of omega p by 2, because I know the value of omega p from the given statement. So omega p is how much? The passband edge frequency is zero point 0.2 pi is given. Okay. So this is equal to capital omega p equal to c dot tan of zero point 0.2 by zero point 0.2 pi by 2. So if we find the value of this, so we will get 0.3249 into C. Okay. Similarly, we can find omega S, which is equal to C into tan of omega S by 2. Omega S value is given 0.4 pi. Therefore, if you calculate this, this is 0.7265 C. Okay. Now to evaluate the magnitude squared spectrum at omega p and omega s, so we can do this, that is omega p, the magnitude at omega p is zero point 0.9 square. Why this is 0.9? This is from the characteristics. Okay, because the magnitude at this, we will get the magnitude at omega p is basically this 0.9. Okay, at this it is 0.9, and the magnitude at omega s is basically this ripple we will get, that is 0.1. Okay, therefore it is 0.9 square. We are doing the square of this, therefore this is 0.9 square and it is 0.1 square. Okay, now we will put the value, that is magnitude at this frequency omega p is 0.9 square, and this formula is 1 by 1 plus omega 2n. So therefore this is equal to 1 by 1 plus, this is the omega p to the power 2n. Okay. Similarly for omega s, the magnitude squared spectrum at omega s is 0.1 square, which is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus, this is omega s to the power 2n. Okay. Now to calculate the value of n. Now in this equation 1 and 2, what is the unknown quantity here? N and C. Okay. But to calculate n, we can use this two equation. We can rearrange the term and find out the value of capital N. Okay. So if we rearrange this two equation 1 and 2, the capital N is equal to 1 by 2 log of this divide by log of omega p by omega s. Okay. So this is the equation. And if we put the values here, so this value is 0.9, 0.1 square, this is 1 minus 0.9 square, like this. So if we put the value here, so we will get the n equal to 3.7569. But n must be integer value. Therefore, we will choose the value which is nearby this value. Okay, round off we will do, and therefore this 3.7 is round off to 4. So the value of capital N is equal to 4. Okay, N equal to 4 we got. Okay, now we know the continuous time Butterworth filter system function h of s for n equal to 4. So the h of s for n equal to 4 is 1 divided by, this is from the table, s squared plus this plus this into this. Okay, so this is h of s we got. Now the third step is to transform this h of s into the h of z using bilinear transformation. Okay, now the s is equal to c into this is the bilinear transformation. Now we need to find the value of c. Okay, now the value of C we can compute from any of the equation 1 or 2 because we know the value of N now. Okay, so you can use equation 1 or 2 to compute the value of C. If you put N equal to 4 here, then we can find the value of C easily. So if you do the calculation, the value of C you will get is 2.5676. Okay, now to get h of z from h of s, we will put instead of s, substitute c into 1 minus z inverse by 1 plus z inverse. Okay, so after solving this term, we will get this h of z is equal to this. Okay, if you solve this whole equation in the denominator, you will get h of z equal to this. Okay, this is our third step. And the fourth step is to obtain the time domain representation. Okay, so the time domain representation is simple now. So h of z, I can write this is equal to y of z divided by x of z, or equal to y of n divided by x of n. Okay, so cross multiplication and write the equation in terms of y of n. Correct. So like this, I can get the difference equation in the final step. Okay, so you will get the long equation here because so many terms are there. And you also need to multiply these two terms, this term and this term. Okay, so final polynomial you will get in the power of z to the power minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. Okay, so then you can write this difference equation. Okay, now this is our final step. Now I can see the magnitude plot, the phase plot, the pole zero plot uh, for this example. Okay, so this is the magnitude plot you will get here for the designed h of omega. So you can plot this in dB also. Okay, you can convert this in dB. Okay, so the cutoff frequency you will get here is 0.24. Okay, so the cutoff frequency is where this, if you plot this h of omega in dB, so the frequency where minus 3 dB crosses, that is your cutoff frequency. Okay, or 1 by root 2 here, if you are not plotting in the dB, then 1 by root 2 where it is crosses, there your omega is equal to the omega c, the cutoff frequency. So that you will get here 0.24. Okay, and if I plot the pole zero plot, then there are 4 zeros at this z equal to -1, and these are the 4 poles you will get here. Okay, so from the given field h of z, so there are 4 poles and 4 zeros in the system. Why 4 poles and 4 zeros? Because this is to the power 4 in the numerator. In the denominator also, this is fourth order Butterworth filter, so you will get 4 poles. Okay, so but here you observe that the poles are on the right half plane. Okay, you are not getting poles in the left half plane. So this is, you can say, this is unstable system. If the poles are on the right half plane, then your system will not be stable in that case. Okay, now as an example 2, there are 2 pairs of poles n equal to 4, because poles are complex conjugate, therefore two pairs of poles. The denominator of h of z is presented by multiplication of two sets of second order expression. So if you solve this two second order expression, you will get the location of 2 pairs of poles which are complex conjugate. Okay. Now for each pair of poles, the transformation using the bilinear transformation from h of s to h of z, where omega c equal to 1. And this can be written like this. Okay. So if I separate this h of z, so h of s, I can say this is 1 by s square plus as plus 1, and in the z domain it is 1 plus z inverse square divided by this term. Okay, now I can find the relation by equating this. B1 equal to, I can find it. Okay, so you will get the relation for B1, B2 and B3 here in terms of A and C. Okay, now if in this case n was even, n equal to 4, if the case where n is odd, what will happen in that case? There will be one extra poles after pair all conjugate poles, and the extra pole is at the h of s is equal to 1 by s plus 1. Okay, now this is in z domain. I can write like this: 1 plus z inverse divide by d1 plus d2 z inverse, and I can find the value of d1 and d2 here. Okay, so this is the case where n is odd, like 5, 3. So there will be one complex conjugate pair and one extra pole at s is equal to -1, you can say, or in the z domain you can represent like this: 1 plus z inverse divided by d1 plus d2 into z inverse. Okay, and we can find the value of d1 and d2 in terms of c. Okay, so that was the example where n was not given. Okay, we have calculated the value of n. Now in the third example, convert this h of s to h of z. H of s is given. Now you observe this h of s is basically, this is the fourth order Butterworth filter expression. Okay, system expression for the fourth order Butterworth filter. Okay, So in the problem statement, it is given convert this h of s into h of z for the fourth order Butterworth filter shown below using bilinear transformation and assume c equal to 1. Okay, it is already given the value of c equal to 1. Now, the bilinear transformation, the relation I know, the relation is S is equal to C into 1 minus Z inverse divided by 1 plus Z inverse. Okay, the value of C equal to 1. Therefore, instead of S, you need to put this only. 1 minus Z inverse divided by 1 plus Z inverse. Okay. Now, if you put the value instead of S, if you put this, and if you solve this, then you will get h of z equal to this. Okay. Now, in this case, it is expressed in terms of b1, b2, b3, d1, d2, d3. Okay. So, either you can directly find b1, b2, b3, d1, d2, d3 with the expression which is mentioned here. Okay. Or you can directly solve this and you will get the expression with the values of this, like you will get this expression. Okay, so either way you can do this. Okay, so in this example only say that to convert h of s into h of z. So it is simple example, only you need to put s is equal to c into this bilinear transformation formula. Okay, now the fourth example, design an IIR Butterworth filter with the cutoff frequency omega c equal to 0.5 pi, omega s is equal to 0.9 pi. That is stop band edge frequency is given and the stop band ripple is given, that is 0.01. Okay, again in this design example, observe that n is not given. Okay, now the first step is to specify the filter characteristics. So the characteristics are given, that is omega c, omega s and delta s. These characteristics are given. Okay. Now the second step is to find the system function for the continuous time filter. Now here n is not given, therefore we need to compute the value of capital N, that is filter order. Okay, and that we can compute using the square spectrum, magnitude square spectrum. Okay, so we know that the relation for magnitude square spectrum, that is the mod of hj omega square, which is equal to 1 by 1 plus capital omega divided by omega c to the power 2n. Okay, so for simplicity we always put omega c equal to 1. Okay, now the magnitude square spectrum, if I plot these characteristics in the graph, there the magnitude at the omega s is 0.01 square. Okay, so we can write this expression like this. So I know the magnitude at capital omega s is 0.01 square, which is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus omega s to the power 2n. Here omega c equal to 1. Okay. Now I can find omega s here. Omega s is nothing but c into tan of omega s by 2. This is capital omega s, this is small omega s. I know the cutoff, the stop band edge frequency, it is given, that is 0.9 pi. Okay, so tan of 0.9 pi by 2, the value is 6.3138 into this c. Okay, now the value of c I can evaluate, and this can be computed because omega c is given. Okay, so I can again put a relation between omega c and this omega c. This omega c, we always consider this is equal to 1 for the simplicity. And this cutoff frequency is given in the example, that is 0.5 pi. Okay, so 1 equal to c into tan of 0.5 pi by 2. And if you do the calculation, you will get the value of c equal to 1. Okay, this I can write 1 into c into tan of 0.5 pi by 2, which is equal to tan of pi by 4 equal to 1. So you will get 1 equal to c into 1, which is equal to, this is c equal to 1 you will get after calculation. So here you got c equal to 1. Okay. Now you can put the value of c here and you will get the value of capital omega s. So I can say, since c equal to 1, so omega s is equal to this 6.3138. Okay. Now I can use this equation 1 and I know the value of capital omega s here. So the only unknown quantity is capital N. Okay. Now I can find the relation the value for capital N. So how I will find the value for capital N? With this relation. Okay. Otherwise, what you will do here, 1 divided by 0.01 square is equal to 1 plus 6.3138 to the power 2n. Okay, so you can find how much is this. You can subtract minus 1 here and you will get 6.3138 to the power 2n. So whatever value you will get here, so if you apply the log on both the side, what you will get 2n into log 10 to the base 6.3138, and this is log of 1 by 0.01 square minus 1. Okay. So n is 1 by 2 log of this divide by log 10 to the base 10 and this 6.31. So this is basically written in this formula. Okay, otherwise you can do your own calculation without using this formula. So you will get the same answer. Okay, so you will get n equal to 2.5 and the nearby positive value to 2.5 is 3. Okay, always consider value greater than this, whatever you will get here n equal to. So always consider the integer closest and greater value than this. So therefore n, I will say n equal to 3. Okay, now I know the omega c is 1, n equal to 3. Then I can write the system function for Butterworth filter for n equal to 3 is this. Okay, this is from the table 1 by s plus 1 s square plus s plus 1. Okay, now the third step was to convert this h of s into h of z using the bilinear transformation. Now here we know the value of c, which is equal to 1. We have already calculated it. Okay, so I can put the value of s here in this expression and I can find the value of h of z, expression for h of z. Okay, so you will get expression in this like this. So here you can calculate a1, a2, b1, b2, b3. Otherwise, if you solve using this, you will get the final expression like this. Okay, so h of z you will get since here A2 you will get A2 equal to 0, therefore this Z inverse term is vanishes. Okay, so the in the expression you will get Z to the power minus 2 here. Okay, and the final step is to find the time domain representation. So I can find it using y of n divided by x of n is equal to this. So I will get y of n, and this is the expression you will get here. Okay, so this is the final step. Now I can plot this magnitude spectrum and the uh, pole zero plot. Okay, now here understand one pole is at s equal to 0. Okay, and there are two poles, complex conjugate pole. One at is equal to 0, and this is the complex conjugate pole, and there are three zeros at minus 1. Okay, pole 0 plot. So here the omega c is already given, the cutoff frequency is already given, that is it was given omega c equal to 0.5 pi. Okay, so in the magnitude spectrum at 0.5 pi, you will get the minus 3 dB crossing. Okay, or at 0.5 pi, you will get 1 by root 2 magnitude here. Okay, so this was the example. Now this is the fifth example. Design an IR Butterworth filter that will attenuate frequencies component at omega equal to 0.5 pi and omega equal to 0.9 pi in signal x of n shown below. Also shown are the signal magnitude and the phase spectrum. This is the magnitude spectrum and this is the phase spectrum. Okay, this is little bit complicated example. So here basically the design is given with the different order Butterworth filter. Like in the example, what is specified here? So the specifications are given in the graph, that is the magnitude plot and the phase plot. Okay. Now what is asked here to design IIR filter? Now in this case, I can take a different order of Butterworth filter and observe the output characteristics. Okay, like the second order Butterworth filter, if I use second order Butterworth filter, then you will get h of omega and phi of omega like this. These are the two poles you will get. Okay, in the output you will get like this. Okay, this is the output. With the second order filter you will get this is output. Okay, if you use ninth order Butterworth filter, what is the output you will get here? The output, it is not plotted here, but the output in the magnitude and the phase you can see here. Okay. So there are two cases are given for this example. So this is actually we can do with some coding. Okay. So if you see the magnitude spectrum of h of omega here at 0.9.1 you will see the magnitude. With the second order filter you can observe this is reduced. The magnitudes are reduced at this frequencies 0.9, 0.5. Okay, and with the ninth order filter, you can see these are suppressed. Okay, so these are totally suppressed with the ninth order filter. So in this example, explicitly the order of the filter is not given. It is just an error to get the given desired performance. Okay, so this is about the IIR filter design. Okay. So in the next lecture, basically we do the FIR filter design, finite impulse response filter design. Okay, this was the infinite impulse response filter. Okay, so is there any doubt? Are you following the lecture? Yes, student, is there any doubt? So for today, we will stop here.